Good morning, beloveds. It just told me stars enabled. I don't know what that means. All right. Facebook is always jiggling and jostling with this, and I don't know what they're doing. And so I'm just going to get on with this. All right. It is muggy and hot out there today. I don't... summer has definitely started. I don't know if we've hit 90 degrees yet, but we will pretty much every day this week. And it was 80 degrees when I woke up. And I'm like, can't we keep it in the low 70s for another month or so? But apparently not. So, but it is June. It is June. And one of my neighbors, she had at least 4 different lilies blooming in her little garden. They're beautiful, and anytime I see her out there, I always say thank you, because I love her flowers, and it's wonderful that she does this, and she puts them right out there in the street where we can see them, so it's wonderful. All right, beloveds, it is June 7th, and our title is I Rely on God Alone to Meet Every Situation. And our quote from Emerson is, instead of that reliance which the soul suggests on the eternity of truth and duty, men are misled into a reliance on institutions, which the moment they cease to be the instantaneous creation of the devout sentiments, are worthless. All right, Emerson, tell us what you really think. I face my world with a courage born of my knowledge of God. I am never alone, never deserted, and never without aid. My reliance is on Him who brought me forth to express His life divine. Indwelling me, there is a center of mind and love, where power awaits my recognition. From this inner Christ, I draw greatly on God. The inexhaustible action of the divine mind is the power of my thinking, and I have the courage to do all things. Directed from within, I see the falsity of external authority. God in the midst of me is my power and my deliverance from all that would beset me. Steadfastly knowing my inner strength, I am no longer appalled by what I need to meet challenges. I'm going to try that line again. Steadfastly knowing my inner strength, I am no longer appalled at what I need to meet. Challenges are change to opportunities, problems to possibilities. Urged forward by divine truth, I proceed into correct action and bring forth right solution. I am no longer the victim of verdicts, whether they be medical, economic, age, social, or financial. I have but one divine verdict upon me. God declares forevermore that I am His eternal Son. That alone is true of me, and knowing this, I have no fear. His whole mind and love are mine to use for right activities, and I use them with ease. As there is no power opposed to the omnipotent mind, there is no power opposed to me in its beloved outlet. I now erase all opposition within my own thought and am a free and open channel for omnipotence. I face all things with faith and cheer in the expectancy of good. I am a spiritual optimist, for I know that with God's help, everything works together for good. My life is now a victorious one, and problems dissolve as I think the truth. Today is filled with victory. All right. There's a lot in there. There's a lot in there, and I'm kind of... Yeah. I don't know that I can wrap it up yet. So let me go back. Okay. I rely on God alone to meet every situation. That's our title. And Emerson says, instead of the reliance which the soul suggests. So Emerson is saying the soul suggests you rely on God, on the eternity of truth and duty, God. Men are misled into a reliance on institutions, which the moment they cease to be instantaneous creations of the devout sentiment are worthless. So basically, when the institutions turn away from God, then they are worthless to rely on. Which is interesting when you consider that we are a country founded on the separation of church and state. And I don't know what to think about that. Outside of what Jesse was talking about yesterday, of the difference between spirituality and religion. Because we definitely don't want religion telling our government what to do. But there is an underlying spirituality about how we care for one another in this country. All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I face my world with a courage born of my knowledge of God. I face my world with a courage born of my knowledge of God. Because I know that God is always there, then I have the courage to get up and do. Regardless of what I could be walking into, I know that I'm never going to walk into it alone. Which is exactly the next line. I am never alone, never deserted, never without aid. Because I always have somewhere to go. Somewhere to go within me to get answers that I probably can't get anywhere else. Frequently, I can't get anywhere else. My reliance is on God, who brought me forth to express God's life divine. I'm here to express God. You are here to express God. God, because you are here for that purpose, will never desert you. My reliance, indwelling me, there is a center of mind and love where power awaits my recognition, which means power is available to me as soon as I am available to it to use. It's like, I gotta know it's there. It's like, I gotta trust that God is, I gotta trust that God is. From this inner Christ, I draw greatly on God. From this inner Christ. Last year, I got to talking about Christ being software. The Christ consciousness is software. We come pre-installed with the Christ consciousness. And the password to activate it is love. And when we activate that pre-installed software, we can draw on God. And God is inexhaustible. The inexhaustible action of the divine mind is the power of my thinking, and I have the courage to do all things because I am using an inexhaustible source of love. Directed from within, I see the falsity of external authority. There is no one who can tell me who I am. The only person who can tell me who I am is me, and that is between me and God. There is nobody else who can tell me who I am. Nobody else. God is in the midst of me hang on. Directed from within, I see the falsity of all external authority. God is in the midst of me. God in the midst of me is my power and my deliverance from all that would beset me. Steadfastly, knowing my inner strength, I am no longer appalled at what I need to meet. Meaning I can walk into situations with open eyes. I can see and acknowledge the conditions and know the truth behind them. Challenges change to opportunities. problems to possibilities. And that's exactly what Science of Mind is like. Don't focus on the challenges. Don't focus on the problems. Focus on the possibilities. Focus on the solutions. Focus on the, what was the other word he used? The possibilities and the opportunities. Focus on that, not the problem. Acknowledge the condition, but focus on the solution. Urged forward by divine truth, I proceed into correct action and bring forth right solution, because I'm focused on solutions, not problems. I am no longer the victim of verdicts, whether they be medical, economic, age, social, or financial. I'm done with people telling me who I am. You can be done with people telling you who you are. I have but one divine verdict upon me. God declares forevermore that I am God's eternal child. That alone is true of me, and knowing this, I have no fear. Are you willing to go and look in the mirror and say to yourself that you are God's eternal child? That you are God's son, you are God's daughter, you are eternally the child of God. And if you are, how does it make you feel? And if you're not, why not? Go try it. Look yourself in the eye and say, I am God's eternal child. Or you son or daughter. It's up to you. That alone is true of me, and knowing this, I have no fear. God's whole mind and love are mine to use for right activities, and I use them with ease. Because I know who I am. Because I recognize that there is only one true authority in my life, and it's me. There's only one true authority in your life, and it's you. And it is you in partnership with Spirit. There is no power opposed to the omnipotent mind. There is no power opposed to me as its beloved outlet. Beloved outlet. I now erase all opposition within my own thought and am a free and open channel for omnipotence. I face all things with faith, cheer, and the expectancy of good. I face all things with faith, cheer, and the expectancy of good. How often do we expect it to go wrong? Prepare for the worst, they tell us. Well, you can prepare for the worst, but expect the best. But expect the best. What if things go right? I'm not telling you not to prepare for them to go wrong, but I am telling you to prepare as you need and then expect the best. Expect them to go right. Because you are a free and open channel. I am a spiritual optimist, for I know that with God's help, everything works together for good. My life is now a victorious one, and problems dissolve as I think the truth. Today is filled with victory. So your mission today, should you choose to accept it, our mission today, should we choose to accept it, is to be a spiritual optimist. To know that with God's help, everything works for the good. Yep, that's it. That's it. And that is not a small mission. But it is one in the long run that will make you feel better. To be spiritually optimistic. To be positive. I mean, if you can go and look at the psychology. And my dad and I talked briefly about that yesterday. It was interesting. Or maybe it was Saturday. I guess it was Saturday. Lost a day in there. And he's learning the power of positive thinking and how much negative thinking can hurt. And so he's working on it. And it's been interesting to watch him grow and to watch him change. As I have grown and changed. And we have a good relationship. And that's not always been the truth. So it's good. It's good. So please be a spiritual optimist. That's the mission. Be a spiritual optimist. If things aren't working out right now, just know it's not the end, because things always work out in the end. All right, beloveds, I'm going to move into the process of my day, and I'm going to encourage you to do something loving for yourself, do something kind for yourself, do something compassionate for yourself, because you are a beloved child of God in whom God is well pleased, always and forever. You deserve the loving, kind, and compassionate. And there's no better person to practice on, really honestly. The more you practice it on yourself, the more you will have to share. Not to spare, but to share. So do something to engage your mind and your body today. Go out and, because it looks like we may, it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. But we may get away with having a week off from the rain. So we may get some sun. Some sunshine first thing in the morning can really set your day off. Go get some fresh air. Drink some water. It's hot out there, so drink some water, drink a little extra, and open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven now. It is the state of mind. And it is the state of mind of a spiritual optimist. And so that is what we are working on. All right, beloveds? It is Monday, and it is June 7th, and so the Tennessee group is starting a new book study today. I do not remember the name of the book, but if you're interested in that, I believe it starts at 7 Eastern Time, which is 6 Central Time. So if you're interested in it, please email info@creativelife.org. I know it's a good book, even though I can't remember the title of it, because I remember thinking, oh, that's a good book. So if you're interested in that book study, and it's one that you can drop in and out of. So, if you missed the first one, don't worry about it. These talks are archived on the Running Red Ryan YouTube channel, so you feel free to go check. I know I haven't got the June playlist up, and I'll work on that tonight. All right, beloveds, have a wonderful day. I will see you at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. right here on Facebook Live. All right, do what you need to do to make it a great day.